Yo, how's it going, Marco? You doing? How you doing? How you doing? We are. Come on. Yep. Okay. So 2 days ago, 1.18 finally released. Hold on. I want to give a boost to my mic because I feel like this is me. Hold on. Okay. Let me know. How does this sound? Yo, what's good, Russell? What's good, Hunk? What's good, Matt? How are you? How are we doing today? Okay. So, music muted because of an ad because I still haven't I still don't have Spotify Premium. I don't know, call me lazy, but yeah, still don't have it. Okay. Anyways, we are back on the hardcore world. Last time we went exploring pretty nice caves. Get cracked. Nah, I don't want to get anything cracked. I don't want to get cracked stuff. I feel like if I want it, bro, it's good. It's good. Difference. Taller like the the height of the world is now like 300 instead of 200, and there's way taller mountains, and the world goes down instead of 0 to negative 64, so it's 64 blocks down and 64 blocks up more. There's huge caves, which I'll show you. I'll show you because we'll go mining in a bit. Oh, reminds me, I need to make a chest. But yeah, pretty much. I found the sound effect for the command is 5 seconds, but you could cut the first 3 or however even is max. Like I said, yeah, redeem it and then send it. Oh, what can I get rid of right now? I'll get rid of this. Might try it again, but it's been nearly a year since I last played. Good now. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's really nice. There's like there's a lot of new stuff. If I say a lot of new, there's not that much, like all the stuff is like all the new stuff was in 1.17. This is like just huge caves and all that. And it's like new biomes. Yes, there's like new biomes and all that, which is really fun. Okay. Well, I'll put chests in here. Where do we put it? Take this out. Right. Thou shall not fuck with me. Thou shall not fuck with thou. Yeah, that is correct. Let's keep that. Keep this. We'll keep this. We'll do that, and then we'll cook some meats and some iron. We'll do nope, not that. Okay. How are you, Tibel? How's it going? What else? What did we want to do? Okay, so we got full iron. Yep, Marco, I'll check it out after the stream. And yeah, also, I'm working on a new Discord, which is gonna be way better and all that. So that should be out soon. Should be out within the next week or so. So yeah, that should be fun. That should be fun. New Discord, which is, yeah, should be really good. Okay. Anyways, what I wanted to do was kind of explore kind of this mountain a bit like mount. When I say mountain, I mean like hill, 'cause it's like just a hill. But I want to make sure like everything is okay and there's stuff. Nah, dang it. Whatever. Okay, that's enough. So I do wonder what there is. Okay, so it is like a nice. Didn't the Y level also drop? Yeah, the Y level did drop. As you can see, there's yeah, the Y level dropped like by 64 as well. I love Tibbs in my DMs. Yes, I saw that. I saw that. Right, yeah, so the mountain looks actually nice, and there's I think like a hole in the middle by what I saw. Yeah, I think what I'll do is I'll farm like a lot of wood, and then I'll start building my house. You hate Russell with a passion. See, Tibbo, I can understand that. I think I would hate him as well. Yeah, I totally understand why. I feel like there's a lot of good caves under here. Right, so we're gonna get some wood. We're gonna start building a nice house. And then the plan for today is to go mining. I want to know something funny. He tried it a second time and said, "Go fuck with Connor. I'm too busy." Oh, you should have tried it with me, bro. I would have loved it. I would have loved it. Yeah, I tricked Connor with it, of course. Connor is gullible. Connor's the type of guy to get tricked with it. Tibbo's the type of guy to get tricked with it once and then not get tricked again. Okay, I want some of these saplings. There's probably wood. No, there's not. Okay. Collected. It is a guy that would allow you once, and the next time. Yeah, yeah. That is totally your type. I do agree. I do agree, Tabel. I definitely agree. Yeah, Russell. So, I mean, if I were you, I would try it one more time with Tabel and see what happens. I just try it once more, just to see. I haven't played Survival in a bit, but when I do, I'll make a fucking underground fortress. Yes. Honestly, I can't wait. I can't wait till like the warden. Oh, I yes. I remember that. You told me. Yeah, you told. Tiba, what would you do if I rickrolled you? What would you do? I I I tried rickrolling you, Chaim. Yep, you did. Yeah. Is that what you sent? Hold on. This is probably it, right? Yeah. You tried and you failed. Reach my hand through the screen. And the thing is, okay, good. Better be. Wait. Okay. Yeah, before, yeah. I hate fucking KSI style. About to block your ass in minutes. Yeah, that is so true. That is so true. Sorry, Tabo, but that is so true. Mm, 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 mm. Mm, 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 mm. Interesting. Fascinating. Well, yeah, it is. It is. Yeah, you do see that a lot, to be honest. Russell, what is your finest quote? You know, we talk about Thibaut's finest quote. What's your finest quote? Oh, I'm just gonna mine this by hand and then I'll go back. I took out almost an entire forest. Let's listen here, Connor. It's okay to talk about it. About that, but it's not necessarily about emotion of you. Nice, nice. What biome am I in? Oh wow, there's a flower forest. Little flower forest. Okay, that's good because I can make. That'll be good for like a flower farm and stuff. That'd be quite good actually for that because these jokes. That is true, guys. As you can see, got a new shelf. Got a shelf. Yeah, got it a couple of days ago. So yeah. Uh, All right. I think I'm gonna build it here. Yes. Yeah, we'll make like a nice. We can do like a nice. I think this size. I feel like this is nice. Right, so we can do 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Let's just take a sleep and then we'll continue. Oh, wait, hold on. I totally forgot to open. Totally forgot to open an app. Okay. There we go. Now that's fixed. Funny time here for an hour. I remember Connor once used favors. Aw, you can't use favors for Jesus jokes. Come on. You should know that, Tibel. Can't use favors. Gotta be you. These nose looks easy. Yeah, they're the easiest joke to do. They're so kids. Yeah. Right, Marco. Marco. Go. I'll allow it. But Marco, you're trying to lick my balls. Nice. Nice. Twitch has that as a block term. It's actually really funny. Bro, what were you testing? What were you testing? There's... Yeah. Eh. Okay. Right, so we got that. I said my friending what flavor do you want? She said, play these nuts. See, that was a good one. Let's get some actual music. I was gonna see some actual good music, but then Tibo would come at me. So we'll do door this way, right? So we'll do 1, 2, 4. And 1, 2. What is it? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, that's all right. What's a random stream is? Did you know Ken? No. Russell, it's do you know Candace? It's Candace, Russell. Russell, do you know Candace? It's Candace. Russell, do you know the country Kenya? Kenya nuts fitness mouth. Yep. You shut the fuck up for a sec with your decent joke. That is a good one. You know what? You got him. Right. I'm gonna go get some sand and I'm gonna smelt it. And then we'll go exploring. Actually. Yeah, I'm getting some sand and then I'm gonna make... Yo, Yusuf Jackson, thank you for the follow. How are we doing? How are we doing? Gonna be honest, that kind of scared me. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys. We now have bit alerts, right? Hey Yusuf, how are you? We have bit sound alerts. So 25, the tool breaks. I'm good. How are you, Yusuf? How are you? 25 bits. It plays a tool breaking. 50, it plays a creeper. 69, it plays nice. 75 plays Enderman. 125, 100 is a Ghast. 125 is Pigman. 150 is Vex. But yeah, no, yeah, Yusuf, how are you doing? I mean, Tibo, let's let him try. I mean, we know it won't work. Let's let him try. Let's not ruin it at least, you know? Wow, Marco, you're gonna get someone. You're so gonna get someone with that. That definitely doesn't refer. That doesn't definitely isn't Sigma balls. Definitely not. Definitely not. Sigma is a South village. Mm-hmm. You know, fucking is a village. Is it? No. Do you know the? Do you know city fucking? Have you been to fucking? I've seen a video about the fucking church. The real place. Oh, Yusuf. Oh no. Oh, you just dug yourself a hole. You just buried yourself. Come on, give it to him, Marco. Come on, Marco. Give it to him. Give it to him. Ooh, we are. There you go. Yusuf, yeah, poor guy. Comes first time in the stream and gets caught with a sucking balls joke. Pathetic. I'm sorry, I'm joking. Um, we are actually 2 followers away from 100. Wow, I just realized. Damn. Damn. I was starting this over like yeah a month and a year and a month. Tibbo, Tibbo, I'll let it. Okay, well that's enough. Why did oh Marco? Bum, ba, da, ba, dum, bum, 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 bum. Yes, I set up the portal already, ready for it to be lit. Bum, ba, da, ba, dum, bum. Took it further away from you, Marco. It's their sacrificial circumcisions. Okay, Marco. uh, you guys. That's dark. That's fucking Titanic isn't a joke. Mm. Okay. Let's put that in. We'll keep that here. Put that there. Put that there. Okay, and we'll make some stairs. Okay. I hear a joke, Marco. Oh no. Okay. Why do you need a new pick? A new shovel? Your Minecraft career. Looks on you. I don't have one. Fair enough. Yeah, as long as you admit it. You know, I mean, you said it, not Tibbo. Tibbo didn't say it. Right, I'm gonna gonna take this bit down because that's dirt. My card is the flex that I killed Jaime Macro 2 years ago. 2 years ago? What? What are you talking about? When was 2 years ago? When? When? Bro, that was not even a year ago. That was not even a year ago. Marco, that was not even a year ago. Can't tell me that it was not. It wasn't even one Christmas ago. It wasn't even one Christmas ago. It wasn't even one. Marco, I don't know what's Marco. It was March of last year. It was March. It was literally in March. Marco, that was literally in March. Like I'm just confused out. I'm just confused, Marco, because yeah. Wait, want to hear a dark joke? Don't ban me for it. You know what, Mark Tibel? Fine, do it. Send it to me first, and I'll tell you if you can. I'll tell you if you can post it. Just, I mean, is it against TOS? It's just number 4. Wait, Thibaut, is it against TOS? If it isn't, then sure. If it is, no. You get better. Alone. Also, that's okay. You know what, Thibaut? I'll allow it. I'll allow it. I'll allow it. Go ahead. I'll allow it. Go ahead. Oh, shit. Now, get better. Alone. Sounds weird, but I just looked in and gotta go. But I'll leave a follow. Thank you, man. Thank you. No, don't worry, man. That doesn't sound weird. Thank you so much for the follow. Thank you, Lost Man. Marco, 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 oh, Marco, Marco. Thank you so much for the follow, Lost Smash. But you're, go ahead, Marco. You have to now. You know what? Yeah, Thibaut. I was thinking of making you mod again. The you are a good mod. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I removed you. Gonna be honest. How do I? Hold on. Let me figure it out. Funk is not an option. Hey, hey. Nah, Marco. I want that. I won't allow. Don't do that. Mm. What do you mean scam? Oh, there we go. Okay, there we go. You're not mod. Yeah, Marco. Don't. No, Marco. Right. Don't get that many. Okay. Ba-da-bum-bum. Ba-da-bum. Yeah, congrats. Bro, that was. You got played. I'm just gonna be honest. You got played. Honestly, the youth nowadays, well. But we don't count as the youth anymore. We're too old to be the youth. We're too old to be the youth. Look at Marco, man. Downhill hasn't it after this? Definitely has after 2004, bro. It's gone so far downhill. Very far downhill. What speaking of, I try my best. What do you mean? What do you mean, Marco? What do you mean? Yeah. Oh, we definitely were, bro. I remember playing outside. Oh, that was the best times, bro. Bro, nowadays kids don't even play inside. Bro, kids that are like 8, bro, they've like got phones. They're like teachers are like, oh, recess, and the kids are like, okay, we'll stay in here play video games on our phone. You know. Or someone say, hey, instead, that thing will throw it down. Yes, Marco, but like, no, not really, Marco. Got my phone with yeah, yeah. I got my phone. I actually got my phone at 9. Um, but that's because, but it wasn't. It was like an iPod, you know. Bro, I remember being on a slide outside or very short of the PS2 and then riding my bike. Yes, yes, bro. Bro. Nowadays kids don't understand. Kids don't even understand the Wii, like the regular Wii, or like the Wii U, Nintendo Switch, bro. People don't remember the Wii, bro. People forgot the Wii existed. I just need it for comms. Yeah, yeah. Nowadays it's like need comms, and it's like we didn't need comms, bro. Wii U was trash, yes, but to be honest, the Wii U was needed. Without the Wii U, we would never have gotten the Switch. Without the Wii, without the Wii U, we've never have gotten the Switch because the Wii U is like, is when they use like the tablet mode and stuff. Without the Wii, we would never have gotten the Switch. And the kids nowadays are short bitches. We can reach. That is, I'm gonna be honest. That's true. That is true. Although I am short, but yeah. I'm short, but like, I'm gonna be honest, I don't care. You know what? Being short is a plus. It's good. I'm not mad about it. I'm not mad. Like, I'll grow. I'll grow. Um, and yeah. If they're taller than me, yeah. No, there are still some tall people. There's still. Mm-mm-mm. Ooh, just sneezed. Plus me. Let me crush his dream for a sec. Oh, come on. Come on. Come on. Do it. Do it. Do it, Tabel. Do it. Crush it. Crush it to pieces. Crush it to literal pieces. Yeah, now have fun, guys. Yeah, good night. Good night. I'll see you if you do. If you do want to stay up with things, follow my Twitter. There's updates on streams and videos that are coming soon. If you guys haven't checked it out, go check out my YouTube. I uploaded a video yesterday. For the first time in a while. So yeah, and there'll be more videos coming soon actually. More videos coming soon. Right, roof is done. Viewers, I'll come here and flex. I'm 6 feet. So hard. Honestly, bro, do it. You're 6'1", bro. Nice. You know what, Thibaut? Nice. Also, guys, remember, we've got some special channel points. So you can change the camera border to be blue, red, or white. I am waiting for an updated version of the software I use to be able to use any color. But until then, I can't. So yeah, that's what we got for now. And you can also take a screenshot of the game. And you can take a screenshot of my face. Okay, that was cringe. That was so cringe. But yeah. Yeah. What does Polaroid mean? So it takes. Try it, Marco. Try it, and then look inside of the Discord. And look in the Discord because it'll also post the picture there, which is pretty neat. Try it, Marco. Try it to find out. Okay, if I try it, I spent my points. Well, I mean, time to get your points back. Anyways, so we've got most of the house built. I'm gonna make a few pickaxes and a new sword. It's okay. All right, time to go back because my sticks are there. But yeah. Oh, Marco, did you just call out to Bell? Bro, Marco, you better sleep with one eye open tonight, bro. He will fuck you up. I do need torches. Oof. Like 3 for 4 max. Oh. Oh. Oh, Thibaut. I think Marco's messing with you, bro. Oh. Mm. Right, I've got 4 torches. Oh, actually, let's do dynamic lighting. We'll do fast. But yeah. Well, Thibaut has no words. Marco, I do remind you, Thibaut is mod. Oh, this looks sick. You know, okay, that's it. Hold on. Wait. Right, Marco, you've been timed out. No more, Marco. I've had enough. Alright, I'm gonna untime you out. There you go. You're untimed out now. There you go. You can come back now. There you go. Welcome back, Marco Mango. Okay, you're little sorry if I put anything that's all to defeat me. Ow. Wow. 4 accounts on Twitch. Oh, wait, no, Marco, no, Thibaut, unban, Thibaut, unban. Thibaut, unban. I need. Oh, right, that's one. Bring the other 2. Oh. Right. Yep. Yep. There we go. And now Marco. Marco, if you don't follow, I'll ban you. Hey, Marco. Follow the channel. Follow. You can't log on. Sure. Are you trying to intimidate Thibaut? Hey, Thibaut, do you hear that? Marco's trying to intimidate you. Marco's trying to intimidate you. No, if you ban him on this account and the other account because it's the same email. Marco. There's a fucking huge vine, bro. Huge vein. Margos for Nerds, thank you for the follow. We are 2 followers away. Oh, we are 1 follower away. Yeah. I did it. And we leave it. Made a mistake. This fucker timed me out. I'm unfollowing on both. Did I time you out? I don't think you're timed out on either one. Marco, I think you're mistaken. Marco, I think you're mistaken. Marco Mango, thank you for the unfollow. Nah, it's too late. I can follow. That's fine. That's your problem. Okay, so this is kind of, how do I say it? Shit. That's fine, Marco. This place is shit. Not even a cave. Oh, I think that's a cave. Leash. There's a cave. An underwater cave. No, it's not a cave. That's not even a cave. Hey, Marco, don't do that. Don't just send the same message. Like multiple message. Like this. Like, don't send one message. Whatever. I give up. Walk away. You can. Never gonna. Okay. Alright, Marco, I'm gonna say this to you. I'm 6'1" Belgian born, half South French, trailblazing, pie eating, own country loving, 12-inch packing, ass kicking, baddest mother on the planet. We try to insult me. I've been through much. Marco, you're funny. Whoa. Go up. Ow. Ow. Alright, Marco. Marco, stop using two accounts. Kind of being annoying. Go away, you can walk away. Yeah, Marco. You need to be careful. It is two accounts. It is. Yeah. Right, Thibaut. Thibaut, no need for a ban. Nice. Thibaut, no need for a ban. We'll turn that on. No need for a ban. Marcos, just stop with the Ken. Do you know Ken? Just stop with that. It's pissing me and Thibaut off. And no one can piss Thibaut off. Aw. Wait, that reset the timer. What timer? Yeah, of course that resets the timer. Of course. Oh, nice. Mm-mm. I've ever played Terraria. I have not, no, and I don't want to play Terraria. I like Minecraft. Yeah, genuinely. I don't want to play Terraria. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Bum, bum, ba, ba, bum. Mm-mm. Huh? Oh shit. No. 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 I knew that was gonna happen. I knew that was gonna happen. Right. Well, um, don't feel like starting a new one right now. Um, I like taking a. This is the first one at 18 World. Uh, so we'll go again on Sunday. Sunday we'll start a new world. But for now, we're gonna leave this one. Let's go see what we missed. Come on, gonna load in. Oh, okay. Well, um, that's gonna be it. We're actually going to raid someone. We're gonna raid. Let's see. Goodbye. Mm, right. Right. Do you guys have any recommendations on who you think we should raid? Um. Yeah. Let's see. Oh. Oh. Um. Yeah. I was thinking Bex. I was thinking someone new. I was thinking maybe someone new. You know. This guy seems. Yeah, and this one's doing like ultra hardcore. Oh no. You know, someone's doing ultra hardcore. Um. Or yeah. Uh-uh. Uh-huh. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this guy. Just gonna wait because he just started, so I want to see if he's getting on his world or not. Um, other than that, we can go here. That or or why do I keep going to ores? know what? We're gonna do someone. Yeah, we're gonna do. We're gonna raid the 2P. Minecraft streamer. Good night, good night, good night. Minecraft streamer recently just lost his hardcore world. Let's give him some love. Right. Get later. Bye.